I'm Ismäel Sene. I was before an academic. I was making a research for a business school, and I was very interested in what I call civic entrepreneurship, which means having a way to develop initiatives that are really focused on the common good, which is different to social entrepreneurship, even if it's connected. I'm of the board of a NGO that is called Sciences Citoyennes, which is based in Paris, which is now I think 15 years old organization. And my initiative is in Brittany because I'm living in Brittany, and in Brittany there is commons a movement that is existing, that is growing, and that is working in different fields. My particular interest is in scientific commons, citizen science commons, because I consider that science is both, I would say not just science, but also the way to re-legitimize science toward the community is both the problem and the solutions, the solution for us to move ahead toward more democracy, because many of decisions that are not democratic are taken on the basis of science, even if science is less and less driven toward the real goods and that society has to cope with, and the challenges we have to face. So in our organization, we're working on that, and I think that it's very important to focus on that specific issue, which is key if we want to grow, if we want to develop the commons within France, within Europe, within the world, and get connected between different commons. So citizen science commons, do you want me to explain a little more what it's about? It's about making, for example, concretely, scientists which are working in laboratories with people, with just citizens that are coping with concrete, specific issues in their day-to-day life. And how do you make science oriented toward those issues? So that reverse the classical top-down approach of science that is just saying, okay, we're going to explain to the people what is the truth. Actually, the truth is also something that can be discussed and can be an issue in terms of democracy. And science is evolving that way very slowly because of administrative and institutional matters that are putting science in a way to behave in habits that scientists have difficulties to cope with because of their career issues, because of the way they have to prove they are effective scientists. So we need to figure out other ways to bring back science into society, bring back science into democracy. I think that it has to do with the idea of public good, public interest, general interest, that was historically very connected to state. Public funds that are supposed to be devoted to the common good, in a way, is not really doing it today. So public funding is crossing private interest and industrial interest, industrial issues that are mainly in the hands of big corporations that are ruling the market also of science. So if, for example, one issue is very interesting in terms of return on investment, the scientists are going to find budget for that. They won't find budget for something that is less seen at the beginning as something that is very juicy in terms of returns of interest. So I think that commons is another way to talk about public interest or general interest by making it more local and also connecting locals, different localities, local actions between them, and make the product of science more belonging to citizens of the world, I would say, in a way. I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be the debate with the member of the European Parliament, within the European Parliament. What I think is that anyway, we need to come up with some proposals that are at the most, at least explaining what are the commons, what are our goals, and then start a process where, if we do it well, we'll make some of the members of European parliaments kind of commoners. So if you make European Parliament members commoners, you bring them into our way of thinking about what is good for society. So it's a long-run process. So I don't think it's going to be a short-term movement. I think it's just going to be an opportunity for them to understand a little more about what is at stake here in terms of the planet and how we can cope with issues for today and tomorrow, for our children, and for real concrete problems we are facing every day. The crisis, the European crisis, the election of the American elections, every problems we are facing today has to be taken from another angle, and I think the commons can be a right path to go toward that end. Well, I think that if science was really a common good, I think that we would have more impact for real problems in society, more direct impact. The fact that we have to take into account longer term for scientists is also something that can be taken into account within a commons approach, because I know that many of colleagues, I was an academic before, so I know how it works. Colleagues still think in terms of science as something that is totally neutral, that has nothing to do with politics, nothing to do with ethical issues. So they consider, okay, the scientist has its own ethics, but what he does is separated from what is developed after in terms of industrial developments, for example. More and more scientists are understanding now that it's not really the case today. It's theoretically the case. It's not practically the case, and we need to move forward that approach. So, to answer your question, I think it would be a better connection between science and real concrete problem to be solved within society.